told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Good morning, it's 7:31. This is Rouser Radio, broadcasting out of the White Hart Hotel in Lewis, East Sussex.
Like it's Monday, something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away.
Good morning, I'm Keith Hayes, and this is Rouser Radio.
I need help, I'm going through hell. I fake like I'm fine, but I know you can't tell. Like nothing I felt, my mind overwhelms. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel far more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long.
Well, I guess it's time for us to open our mouths and say something to a 20-degree day, thundery showers around and a gentle breeze. That's what you can expect outside. I hit one of the little showers this morning as I came in, but everything other than that was as forecast. Good morning, Rouser Radio at 7:34 in Lewis, East Sussex, in the great nation of the United Kingdom, which is in mourning for Her Majesty the Queen, who is now in London and resting in, I think it's Westminster Hall. Well, there we are. This is just me broadcasting, so pay absolutely no attention whatsoever to this podcast. It has no content of merit whatsoever. Right, well, we're just talking to people who might just find us on the internet, on video, on YouTube, and other social media. But of that, by the way, is our intro and extra at the moment is As You Fade Away by NFX. Nice little number, I think. I've got some into that sort of music, but I find it quite catchy and quite catching. We'll take a look at the headlines this morning. But the latest on the Queen is that thousands and thousands are turning up to pay their respects, and well before some of them the day before anything's going to happen. They're there with their flasks and I suppose they're computer games or whatever, and they've staked their pitch, and they aren't going to give it up. No, sirree, they are not. They want to pay their respects, and to what undoubtedly, and I was thinking about it, is undoubtedly our greatest queen, and we've had some great queens. Believe me, we've had some great queens, uh, and the queens stamp their authority and their memories on our psyche far more than the men do. Or is that because we have more men, more kings than we do queens? I have no idea. But Victoria, Elizabeth I, Elizabeth II, uh, Queen Mary, all are remembered for one thing or another. This one, Queen Elizabeth, for a reign of superb leadership. She is the head of state, and she behaved like the head of state, and she was a great head of state, and she did her job. And on top of that, she did it with a sense of duty and warmth, and certainly uh, bringing into focus the authority and the usefulness of the royal family. And those who would say nay, bugger off because you got it wrong. This time you've got it wrong. It's just your uh, evil little natures, your mean spiritedness that's talking. Yeah, so please go away and be mean spirited somewhere else. Go into a corner and stay there. Yes, 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 yes. Right, okay. What we need to do is we need to actually see what the papers are saying, don't we? Do we? Yes, we do. The let's find out in no time flat. Uh, because once again it will be dominated by the royal family and what's happening. Here we go. We start today with the Mirror, and nearly all the newspapers lead on the Queen's coffin being brought back. I think, with the exception of the Guardian. The It was they brought back Tuesday evening last night after quite a long trip from Balmoral to the St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, and then down by plane to London, to Northolt, I think, and then into Buckingham Palace. Hmm. Into Buckingham Palace, or yes, yes, because she came home. Right. And the Daily Mirror, which has been something of a mean-spirited paper recently about a whole host of things, is led home by lights of love, and Buckingham Palace was lit up, the facade, a blaze of light, um, all sorts of lights from people outside. Yes, quite a spectacle. Led home by lights of love, crowds guard of honour as the Queen arrives for the last night at the palace. Crowds gathering outside Buckingham Palace as the Queen's coffin arrived there late on Tuesday. Her casket had travelled through London from RAF Northolt. I was right after that, after being flown down from Edinburgh. King Charles III and Camilla, the Queen Consort, were there to receive the coffin along with other members of the royal family. The Daily Mail uh, uh, it says it's not too late to change rigid plans and let millions more of us bid the Queen farewell. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but home to her family is the headline, and the picture of the hearse, if you like, or the royal car with the coffin, topped by beautiful flowers, driving into the front gates of Buckingham Palace. It's Charles is waiting solemnly for his mother's final return to Buckingham Palace. Paper adds all members of the royal family joined him, including the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Tens of thousands of people were pictured lining London streets to catch a glimpse of the Queen's coffin. The Daily Express, the same picture, home for one last time. Mourners in their thousands cheer and clap as the Queen arrives at the palace. The Daily Express gives more detail about how mourners clapped as the Queen's hearse made its way down Constitution Hill and around the Queen Victoria Memorial before driving through the gates of the royal residence, following a 15-mile journey from RAF Northolt. Some people were seen putting down their umbrellas as a sign of respect as the car drove past, even though it was pouring down with rain. The Metro. We'll walk with Gran. William and Harry to follow the Queen's coffin with Charles today. The Metro takes a slightly different approach as the front page. It doesn't have a picture of the hearse. It has a picture of the princes. It's Harry and William, and the two boys. Uh, the Metro, yes, right, is the Queen's grandsons, Prince William and Prince Harry, being said to join their father, King Charles III, in walking behind her coffin. The new king will lead a royal procession from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall as the former monarch is moved through London. Other royals who will join the princes and Charles include Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. The Times at last night at the palace, and it shows the coffin being taken from the aircraft by obviously RAF personnel, and the paper shares an image. Let's see, an image on the front page of the coffin being carried off the C-17 Glowmaster aircraft after it touched down at RAF Northolt from Edinburgh Airport. The Queen returns home. She returns to Buckingham Palace, and this is the Eye for a final time, where the Eye takes a look at the choreography of national mourning over the next few days, in the lead up to the Queen's funeral on Monday. The front page features a picture of the hearse being driven amid a sea of faces and flashing lights, as many in the crowd attempted to capture the brief historic moment. According to the newspaper, people were heard chanting, "Hip, hip, hooray," as the coffin was driven by. And indeed, this picture in the Eye shows the huge crowds, and with the cameras going off and all the lights, adding to a really quite spectacular sight. The Sun, welcome home, ma'am. And the Sun uses a stock photo of the hearse going through the front gates of Buckingham Palace. It touches on Princess Anne's emotional journey as she travelled with her mother's coffin from Edinburgh to RAF Northolt. The Queen's only daughter also released a poignant statement on Tuesday, saying it was her honour and privilege to accompany Her Majesty on her final journey. The Guardian, Johnson's junk food rules under threat as Truss targets red tape. Yeah, good for the Guardian. It brings us back to earth with the fact that day-to-day life has to go on, and that Liz Truss is in getting rid of red tape is going to do away with some of the junk food diktats brought in by Boris. It also it can't help but mischief make a little bit. Anger as Charles' staff is told they may face redundancy, and the queue to see lying in state could stretch for 5 miles. It splits its front page before the moving picture of the Queen's coffin arriving at the gates of Buckingham Palace, with an exclusive story on the UK government potentially scrapping its entire anti-obesity strategy. The paper says ministers have ordered an official review of the measures currently in place that aim to stop people eating junk food. The review may result in Prime Minister Liz Truss lifting the ban on sugary products being displayed at checkouts and buy one and get one free deals in shops. Well, there we are, the Financial Times. The Financial Times actually shows a picture of the household cavalry, the bearskins with Cannon in front of Big Ben. And then it turns to what its main focus is always businesses face delays to access the £150 billion energy support package, and US inflation rises more than expected, sparking predictions of a hard landing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's a bit unexpected. The FT caught a glimpse of rehearsals for the procession at Parliament Square. The main story also details Charles's first visit to Northern Ireland as king on Tuesday. He vowed to follow the shining example of his late mother in finding the healing of long-held hurts in the region. In a separate story, the FT reveals how businesses in the UK may face delays until November in getting their £150 billion energy support packages. However, the government has not yet confirmed that this will be the case. The Daily Star, right? Okay, the Daily Star is back to its old tricks, is giving us all a laugh. Space Boff's countdown to discovering aliens. Flash, I love you, but we only have 219,000 days to save the Earth. Picture of Flash Gordon. Aliens are the top priority for the Daily Star, as the front page claims extraterrestrials could be discovered in the next 25 years. Wowee! Well, there we are. How interesting that is. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yeah. Hang on. What are we doing now? We've got to be very careful because I'm very happy with. There we go. Yes, indeed. Now let's see. What I'm very pleased playing this. Down with your get-up. You should all be out of bed this morning at 7:47. It's a bit miserable out there. We can expect light rain throughout the day. Temperature about 20 degrees, which isn't bad, it's mild, and a very slight breeze. And I'm always thankful for that because I've got the sort of hat, a trilby with a big rim, that can lift off and does with the slightest breeze. So if today's breeze is moderate, I might just venture out onto the street. with your get up. Get up, get up, get up. It's not a great morning out there, but it's not bad. It's still fairly summery. Not much chance of the sun. But looking at the back pages, is Liverpool beat Ajax last night. So I suppose that let's see, Tottenham lost to Sporting Lisbon. I suppose that is. Um, yes, Lisbon with a valuable point. Yes. FA Cup replay, face the axe to ease congestion. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And Sheen invited to give well for team talk. Lewandowski returned to Bayern, spoiled by Sani. We can't make bad mistakes like that in this competition, they say. And here's young Max arriving, full of tea and vinegar, I would imagine, this morning, just ready to go. And he's got to put up with me this morning because our usual host, along with Max, is ill today. I'm afraid that Stuart he hasn't been well all week, and he just felt that he shouldn't come in this morning because he may not make it through the broadcast. So God bless him. So I'm going to be the foil. It's what was known in the old days on the vaudeville scene as top banana. In other words, the top banana was the person that came on as a straight man, and the comedian made fun of him. So you be gentle with me this morning. If I'm going to be your top banana, not too much poking fun. All right, right. He says, yeah. So where are we?
Oh, did just speak to Stuart just 5 minutes. He said you should buy a copy of the Financial Times' big story and that.
Ah, right. Well, we can get it off the internet. Right. Okie dokie. Let's find out. Where are we? Where are we indeed? Well, it is now 7:52. The time goes very quickly with this morning junket. It's only 3/4 of an hour long, but here we are at 7:53, 53 minutes into the broadcast. We've been on the air for 22 minutes and 45 seconds, would you believe? And we should go back, I think. We should go back, shouldn't we, to the papers and just see what else may have cropped up from them. Papers today. Let's try that. Yes, here we go. Because they're all once again much of muchness, except for the Guardian. But the other thing that is junk food rules are under threat. In other words, all the good works done by Boris Johnson's government to try and make us a less fat nation. And let's face it, I hate these woke things, is you must not use the word fat. If you're fat, and that's it. And actually, an awful lot of us are. And I'm told that nowadays to have a big bottom is supposed to be very fashionable. Well, I'll tell you, I look at some of these big bottoms and I find them quite obscene. And I think it's time that we did actually cut down on the junk food. But we're not going to under Liz Truss's regime, apparently, because she's going to cut red tape. Now, that is to be welcomed. But what that means, heaven only knows. Have no idea whatsoever. None. And I tell you, there is a whole host of red tape that could be cut out, could be streamlined, could be dumped in the bin. In fact, it's only keeping people in work. But since none of them are going to work, it's absolutely incredible that is the buses and cars on the road are just so sparse. Nobody is going into the office. And if they say they're working from home, I'd like to find it because if your call is they say that it may be that you're going to have to wait um, for 30 hours. Is the line waiting outside the palace is huge. Um, I can't quite put my finger on how long it's going to be, but it is a long, 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 long white line, and it's it's just that's how long it takes because of red tape and people being working from home. I mean that when you call and you're told, please give us a call, is the first thing that happens is we we welcome your call. It is very important to us. You are 65th in the line, and we will probably get to you this day week. It's bloody ridiculous. It really, really is very ridiculous. But that's what we've got. And so, if in fact cutting red tape is going to help alleviate that, I think actually it's my answer is cut salaries of people who work from home by a third, and you'd soon find them hurrying back to the office, I think. But the papers generally, all the front pages show images of the hearse carrying Queen Elizabeth's coffin to Buckingham Palace. Um, the words of the Princess Royal: "I was fortunate to share the last 24 hours of my dearest mother's life. It has been an honour and a privilege to accompany her on her final journeys." And the Princess Royal stayed with the coffin all the way from Balmoral down to Buckhouse last night. Um, her family is in the Daily Mail. The Sun says, "Welcome home, ma'am." There's extensive coverage of the journey from Edinburgh to London. The Guardian says the RAF plane with the coffin on board taxied slowly as if carrying fine china. The Times describes the journey from RAF Northolt as extraordinary, with motorists leaping from cars to clap and lorry drivers almost jackknifing as they pulled over to show respect. That is quite incredible. As the hearse approached Buckingham Palace, it was greeted by cheers, applause, and the glow of countless camera phones. The Daily Mirror sums up the scene as being led home by the lights of love. Oh, under the headline, "We'll walk with Gran," the Metro leads on the news that the Prince of Wales and his brother, the Duke of Sussex, will follow on foot as the coffin is moved from Buckingham Palace to Westminster this afternoon. The paper says the walk will be a reminder for William and Harry of what happened at their own mother's funeral 25 years ago. The Guardian reports that dozens of Clarence House staff have been given redundancy notices as the offices of King Charles III and the Queen Consort move to Buckingham Palace. Private secretaries, the finance office, and the household staff learned of the news during a Thanksgiving service for Queen Elizabeth in Edinburgh, which took place on Monday. One source is quoted as saying the announcement left employees absolutely livid and visibly shaken. Clarence House said it was working urgently to identify alternative roles for the greatest number of staff. Well, if you're the bottom of the ladder, if you're the guy that sweeps the steps, I guess that's not much warmth, is it? It is 7:59, by the way, and we're going to hit 20 degrees today. Mostly rainy, I'm afraid. A bit of a drizzle here and there, possibly thunderous storms as well, and a light breeze. Um, Businesses face delays to access the £150 billion energy support package in the Financial Times. Executives have been told in recent meetings with the government that the scheme may not be ready until November. The paper says the delay is due to there being no comparable system to the domestic price cap. Oh my God. That's the trouble. It's clearing away red tape, if in fact what it means is it speeds up things that happen in Westminster, so much the better. But the bureaucracy that prevails right throughout our own system is beyond belief. I got a letter yesterday from somewhere in Wimbledon, from some government office, saying our records say that you haven't applied for the £150 seating thing. Well, I thought I had, but anyway. And then it gave me instructions into what to do online. Well, I followed those instructions. You have no idea the trauma. It took me so far, and then it wouldn't let me type things in. I even got to the part where I was supposed to give them my bank account details. I couldn't put my name in. It wouldn't let me. I mean, once again, it just shows not only red tape, but red tape smothered in computerese, which simply does not work. It doesn't work. But do they care? No, because what they say is, if you're having trouble, give us a call. Press 1, press 2, press 3. Thank you for your call. It's important to us. In 3 days, we'll answer it. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Indeed. Oh, gosh, I think I really, really must in 5 straight rows, just to get us back on track. Let you down. We're not going to let you down. Max and I are already fighting. He's got me over the table, beating my brains out, telling me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and he's quite right, but nobody should know that except me. Come on, let's have a smile on your face, for God's sake. Jesus. He comes in scowling these days because he gets pissed off with the bus company. You've got your viewers and your listeners to say, let's see a smile. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's better. That's better. We got a smile on his face at long last. Actually, you should come and show them here. Come and show them over my shoulder. Anybody who's tapping into the live thing.
Stories at the moment.
Right. Okay. Is where are we? Right. We are at 8:05, in fact, and the back pages aren't giving us much joy. As usual, there's lots of football. Some win, some lose. Nothing terribly exciting if you're not a football fan. It did occur to me yesterday when I was watching the bits and pieces about football, is where do people get the money to go to football matches? Brighton, I believe, is one of the cheapest, and that's 40 quid to get into the stadium. Now, that's 40 quid. They keep on pushing games on games on games on games. There's got to be 50 or 60 matches played in a season. And so multiply that by 40, and that's one of the cheaper ones. If it's Arsenal or Tottenham, it's quite often 70 or 80. That is a lot of money, and yet there are people that go. They follow their team away. They have it at home, and so on. Now, where on earth do they get the money for the tickets? It is beyond me that anybody except the very wealthy can afford to go to a football match, and yet you get all these people, particularly hooligans, particularly people who yell abuse at the players, who invade the pitch and so on. How the hell do they get in? Where do they get their money from? Even a good average wage. I mean, I should get Max over there to work it out. But let's assume that the average wage at the moment is about £40,000. Okay, some people are going to say, Keith, where have you been? But there are some people making quite a lot of money, and some people down on the basic rate. But let's assume that it's about £40,000. Work out £80 by, let's be generous, 25 matches. You're talking half of what somebody would make. And then they've got to pay their rent or their mortgage. They've got to pay their heat, light. They've got to pay all sorts of other things, food. Is where on earth do they actually get the money from? I'll be damned if I understand it. I even had to borrow a fiver yesterday to get home on the bus. It is quite amazing, quite astonishing that this sort of money can be spent on this game. And yet, when I say, oh, the salaries and the amount of money for transfers and so on is obscene, is people say, they've only got one. Well, that's true of a lot of us. We've only got a short period of life doing what we really like, and not least of which is in television, because you lose your looks very quickly. And while some people go on to be doyens, an awful lot of people have to then go and find a second career, because the career in television is so short. All right, you may say people in television earn quite a lot of money. Well, a lot of them don't. A lot of them are journeyman broadcasters. They're only earning 25,000, 30,000 a year. So it's not comparable. I just don't see it myself. I just don't see it. It just does not add up for me. Right. Okay. Now that's taken us to 8:09. Oh goodness gracious me! Well, we better have one more. Let's play Breeze, and that will take us through to goodbye time. telecasted. You are listening to Rouser Radio, which goes on just ahead of Mirador Television, which starts at 8:30 each morning. Both are broadcast from the White Hart Hotel in Lewes, a historic hotel on the High Street, right in the centre of the town, Lewes being the county town for East Sussex. It's outside. It is going to hit about 20 degrees. We can expect thundery storms throughout the day with some rain. We already got a sprinkle. I got it when I was waiting at the bus stop. And a light breeze. But that light breeze can be devastating if you're wearing a trilby, as I am, or any hat that has got a brim, because it is pixie-ish. It actually gets under the brim, lifts the hat, and sends it on its way. Okie dokie dokie. It's 12 minutes past 8, and that's the state of the weather and the conditions here in Lewes. This morning it was two lovely people again on duty at the White Hart. Shannon is beautiful and a beautiful smile and dashing about, and she got everything ready for us, absolutely magnificent. And Wes, who came in, bit of a scowl on his face to begin with, but he brightened up and was, as usual, welcoming self and a happy bunny. Jane is on holiday, and the boss, Sally, is staying upstairs for a little while. I'm sure preparing for the onslaught when we get to this coming weekend, when there are going to be all sorts of ceremonies and the preparations for the funeral on Monday of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And Monday is a bank holiday, although now, apparently, the government has relaxed. Everything must shut because some complaints from places like, for instance, Centre Parks, where people had checked in. But if they are forced to close on Monday, is that they would have to actually say to people who are halfway through their holiday, you've got to find somewhere else for 24 hours and then come back again, which is a bit of a nonsense. I would be very upset if I was asked to do that. And so there is a little bit of relaxation, and how far that relaxation will go, I don't know. But the supermarkets will be closed, so stock up on Saturday and Sunday to make sure that you've got all the stuff that you need for watching the funeral. It's 8:14, and that's it for this morning with Rouser Radio. We will be back at 8:30 with Mirador Television, and today is Energy Day. Stuart Dolby, unfortunately, is poorly, but your host, Max Hurd, is here. He's not a very happy bunny at the moment, but I'm sure he'll get happier as the day goes on. And we'll see you in 15 minutes or so. Until then, toodle pip.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way.